Explosions lit up Israel's night sky as interceptors took down dozens upon dozens of Iranian-launched drones. Israel's military spokesman said the nation's defense systems detected incoming drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles launched from Iran and its proxies.
Together with our allies and partners across the region, we are operating at this very moment to defend Israel from Iran's attack. So far, we have intercepted the vast majority of incoming missiles by Israeli systems.
The damage to Israel was far less than had been feared. Israeli officials said one child was hurt and a military base suffered minor damage. Schools in Israel had closed early, and civilians had been warned to seek shelter from the attack that many had suspected was coming. As it unfolded, Jordan, Iraq, and Lebanon closed their airspace, and U.S. President Joe Biden cut short a trip to Delaware, rushing back to the White House to meet with his National Security Council. In a statement, Biden said U.S. forces helped Israel take down nearly all the incoming drones and missiles. And Biden spoke with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu by phone, affirming the U.S.'s ironclad support. Iran said the weekend's attack was retaliation for Israel's strike on an Iranian diplomatic compound in Damascus earlier this month. Even as the drones rained down on Israel, Iran's mission to the United Nations said the matter can be deemed concluded, but warned more violence would come if Israel or the U.S. retaliated. Iranians rallied in front of the British embassy in Tehran after the attack concluded.
I have never seen in any country, anywhere, that attacking another country and war makes people happy. But tonight, people gave up their sleep so that they can come here and show how important this war is to us, and how glad we are from this attack on Israel.
Leaders in the UK, Europe, and Canada condemned Iran's actions as reckless, unacceptable, and destabilizing for the region. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also called for an immediate cessation of hostilities. But Israel has signaled it will respond to Iran's attack. The UN Security Council is expected to discuss efforts to prevent a direct war between the two countries on Sunday. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera.
Shalom, Ka'Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to get into the beginning of sorrows and how the events that just took place over there in the land of Israel and the nation of Iran is not World War III, right? But it's going to lead to it. Okay, these are the beginning of sorrows, as the Messiah said. In fact, let's actually get that real quick. This is Matthew's 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So if you've been paying attention, all these things have been taking place. We can all see that we're in the last moments of the last days, and you have even people like the president of Colombia, which in fact this is the reason why I want to make this lesson, because of what this man said. He says it's a prelude to World War III. Colombia President Gustavo, as Iran attacks Israel. It says Colombia's President Gustavo Petro reacted to Iran's attack on Israel by saying, we're now in the prelude to World War III, precisely when humanity should rebuild its economy towards the rapid goal of decarbonization. He added, the support for the U.S. in practice for a genocide has ignited the world. He further urged the UN to immediately commit to peace. This is, however, the part that I want to get, where he says, now in a prelude to World War III. So this man here even understands that even though right now it looks like you're going to have, Iran saying that they're no longer going to, or they're not going to continue to attack, Israel still may retaliate and may kick things off, right? Remember what the scriptures do say is that the least of the flock shall draw them out, meaning that it is going to be the nation of Israel, right? The Amalekites, who are what you would call today as the so-called Israelis. They're going to cause something to cause all the Western nations, NATO and the US, to come out and intervene. Okay, and as this man says, we're close to that, right? We're in a prelude, and when you get into prelude, it basically means like what comes before, right? An action or event serving as an introduction to something more important. And that's what's happening, right? Because let's go to the Bible timeline. Because when you look at what's going to go on, right now we're about here, okay? Right? We're seeing right now all the wonders and all things spoken about, how the world will start coming down. We're about to go into the introduction of the digital currency that Esau is going to bring out. But that means also to get rid of the old system, right? We're basically here in America, we're going to witness what Iran and all these other nations have already experienced. Pretty much we're going to get into Jacob's trouble, and for the most part, the introduction of the New World Order, or as it's going to be known as the WEF, partnership. And then that's when we're going to see the mark of the beast be introduced. And then that's when World War III is going to break out. Okay? And when World War III breaks out, that's when the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is going to return. Okay? And when he returns, he's ultimately going to end all the war. But before then, we're going to have a buildup. Okay? Like he says, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. So though Iran and Israel fighting are major players, this may simply just be the beginning tensions that are going to start a domino effect of events that are going to ultimately lead to what you're seeing here, World War III, where we're going to witness the invasion of America, the war between America, NATO, and basically the BRICS nations, Russia, China, Iran, right? And basically we're going to witness a big crazy ass war, right? Basically Armageddon, literally. But again, this here is still a bit off. Remember, what we need the big prophecies to come forward, and we still have to go through Jacob's trouble. So I don't think we're that close yet. So let's go on. I want to show you something else that came up. So Iran, in all the talk back and forth, what's happened is that the Amalek, right, the so-called Israelis, have threatened to use nuclear weapons in case they're about to lose the war, right? Because they're basically saying they're going to use the nuclear option, before they'll lose to Iran. So what does Iran say to Israel instead? It says Iranian MP says, if Israel strikes Iran's nuclear facilities, then we will strike Israel's Dimona nuclear facilities in 400 seconds. So you see, this right here is supposed to not even exist. This is a secret that got JFK killed, right? This is something that the world doesn't want to acknowledge, right? Nor does Israel even, pretend that they're nuclear power, but they are, and all the other nations know it. And right here, Iran has threatened to bomb it. So you see, we're at that time, Akim, right? The time where the Lord is about to get ready his arrows of indignation, right? What are the Lord's arrows? Well, those are the nuclear missiles, okay? The ICBM, intercontinental, missiles, or even the hypersonic missiles, right? That Iran showed off the other day. And another thing, check this out. It says, the time Kuwait rejected the deal of a century, which would have normalized relations with Israel by throwing away the documents. And I forget who this guy is. He's one of like the bigger guys and like the politicians. They don't even have politicians there. This is like one of the noblemen. But basically, this is the contract that Israel had with like the Arab nations, the Arab leagues, which Saudi Arabia was like heading. Okay, this is what Ishmael thinks of Amalek's treaty.
وفي الختام وباختصار شديد نيابة عن كل الشعوب العربية والإسلامية وكل شرفاء وأحرار العالم أقول هذه وثائق ومستندات ما يسمى بصفقة القرن مكانها المناسب والحقيقي هو مزبلة التاريخ والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته وفي الختام.
So there you go. And what's this going to lead to? You have Iran openly attacking Israel or Amalek, right? And you have Ishmael here now rejecting the deal they had made with Amalek and also Edom, right? To bring forward the normalization of relations between Israel and all the other Arab nations, right? Basically, they were going to give Amalek that whole central land, which Amalek refers to as Greater Israel, right? That's what they ultimately were seeking after. Now, ultimately, what's happened is that deal is now gone sour, and now that Ishmael and the Persians are now together, or have now separated themselves, this is eventually a prophecy that's going to happen regarding them. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, right, Ishmael, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, right? These are going to be jets, right? Air Force power, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And also the Carmenians are the Iranians, right? The Persians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Right? They're basically going to be on land, so we're more likely going to be seeing ground forces coming out from Iran, right, invading Israel via the West Bank area. That's well, either way. That's the Lord's going to draw Iran and a lot of the BRICS nations over there to the land of Israel, right, and bring them there into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is basically East Israel, right? Basically where the West Bank is at. It says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Now, this here ultimately could literally mean the land of Syria, but also the modern day Assyrians are these Edomites, right? They are the leaders of the top city of the current society and power. So there you go. So see, this is prophecy that's all starting to line up, and that's starting to play out between news postings and days, going by. Now, let's read this. This is Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and have parted my lands. Right? See, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, that's basically to the east of where the temple of the Lord used to stand, basically where the Roman fort Antonia, or what they call it today, the Temple Mount, is where it's at. East of that is the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, so basically, you're going to have the Lord gather these nations, right? Because we already see how you have all these naval forces there in the Red Sea, You have Iran now attacking Israel. Turkey just said that their airspaces couldn't be used for any attack against Iran. You had the Germans. Now they're talking about deploying their troops for the first time since World War II, right? But this is up there by the Germany's here, Lithuania's there, so they're basically going to move right above Belarus, which is basically Russia, right? So Germany's moving up here above Poland. So they're ultimately, you can see how these nations are starting to, position themselves. Okay, it says this week Germany has begun deploying troops to the Baltic state of Lithuania, which marks the first such external deployment of its kind for Germany's military since World War II, and which is the result of Berlin adopting a firmer counter-Russia posture after more than 2 years of war in Ukraine. Check this out. It's time to send NATO troops to Ukraine. After 75 years, the alliance is locked in the nuclear age. So you see, now you're starting to hear more rhetoric about starting to go to war in Europe, right? And that the NATO needs to involve themselves in Ukraine. That's ultimately what the whole narrative is going to be. I bet you for the rest of this year, you're going to start seeing a lot of people saying that Ukraine's going to ultimately fail and NATO got to basically move in and take over, or else Russia's going to take over. And these devils, they're going to use Russia as the boogeyman and cause all that disruption over there. This is Revelations 11 and 14. And the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And this is also where we're upon Akim. So all these things that are taking place, they're all going to lead to World War III. And as I showed you in the Bible timeline, we still have a few prophecies left. But this is why the Lord is, sending you this warning, so that way we could all get ready, be it spiritually, physically, resources, just put yourself in a better position. But yeah, we ultimately are here, and we're at the end. So we got to prepare. So what does that mean? That means you got to make sure you're going to be able to go without for a couple of days, right? Whatever that may be it energy, food, water, right? You got to remember there's going to come a time when these words are removed from the Bible. The Bible tells you that there's going to come a time of famine of the word. And we can already see how these devils are setting up all these hate speech laws so that way they could, stop preaching of the Bible. Because again, why? Because they're being exposed as the Edomites, right? The last nation prophesied to be in power and who would rule the world in wickedness and have the world morally upside down. That's these Edomites, right? Starting at the very top with Amalek, the so-called Israelis, who pretend to be the chosen people. This is Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye Yahweh Bashem El-Shai while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh Bashem El-Shai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. So, hopefully this lesson was edifying, Akim. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh Bashem El-Shai, Bashem Kokodash. Shalom.